Welcome, folks, to Alabama Bass Trail TV. I'm Chris Brown, AnglersChannel.com, along with Program Director Kay Donaldson, Tournament Director Clay Baldus. Guys, here we are, right in front of the championship. We've had a tremendous year full of challenges, full of highs and lows, first-time winners, amazing fish catches. Kay, let's talk about the initial tournament that we started with this year, or tried to start with this year, that kind of prolonged our season this year for us.
You know, I guess when you look at it, in 5 years, we've only had to postpone one event.
Right.
And it was certainly the thing to do. I mean, when you meet with that TVA and you meet with the local officials in the EMA and they're all telling you that this just doesn't look good, you go with those people because they know what they're talking about. So it was the right thing to do. And as much as I hated it and I knew they'd be biting, but it was the right thing to do.
So we had, again, a year full of first, our first postponement. We've had engagements on stage. We've had babies born via FaceTime, baby announcements. We start the year off on Lay Lake and Clay. Then we go to Guntersville, where we kicked off the North a number of times over the past 5 years. How many bags over 20 do we have in that tournament?
I mean, how ridiculous was that?
Everybody said
now, wait a minute.
dead.
We pay 40 places, okay? We pay 40 places. I would have never in my wildest dreams have thought we would have had 38 over 20.
Right.
I mean, what?
38 bags over 20, and they say Guntersville's down.
Down. You know, I've heard that, and I can see when you put tournaments that are on Chickamauga and Guntersville same weekend, you see that. I can see where people would get that. But when you've been out on the boat, like Clay and I have with TVA or with some of the other, you know, some of the electroshocking and see those bait balls, I think the number one reason that we saw such a turnaround in Guntersville this year was the big fish, with the big shad kill.
Right.
We had some really cold weather this year, and along the whole Tennessee River, we saw a tremendous shad kill. And I think that really may have reinvigorated the fish to chase those bait worms or those buzz baits or crankbaits and things like that.
Well, and it was like another 20-pound sack, another 20-pound sack. I'm looking at my scale master and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, we're just like, and you know, some of the guys are coming up on stage and they're seeing what they've got. They're looking what the guy weighed in front of them, you know, and they're like, oh, we don't have that. You drop it on the scale and it's like, boom, another 20-pound bag. It's like, folks, Guntersville is just fine. I promise you.
Come on down the water.
Come on down.
Come on down, the water's fine. So we filled up the North and the South this year, 225 teams in both divisions. What an amazing, in record time, what an amazing sight. I'm a big fan of early morning blast-offs. I know you are too. What an amazing sight each and every event to see that number of boats and those guys in the water.
All I can say is if you're signed up for 2019, hold on. Strap your boots on and hold on, because it is a wild, fun ride.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love Boat Check. I love talking to everybody at Boat Check. It's just an amazing time for me. You guys are with me a lot in the mornings. But when you get on that blast-off boat and you call boat number one, it is an energy unlike anything I have ever experienced in my life.
Yep.
And to know that you know, they're on the water safely, and then the next step for me is to make sure they're all back safely. You know, he's got to weigh them all in, and I'm keeping social media updated. But really, when you go back there to that key fob box and you have 225 key fobs checked in, and you know your guys are safe, that's an amazing, amazing thing.
Well, you guys do a great job. Let's go ahead and move on in the show. We've got first-time winners here. We've got guys that were so close in points down to the end that they just didn't have enough. We're going to have a great show for you today. You guys hang tight. We'll be right back with more on the Alabama Bass Trail TV show.
Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, official truck of the Alabama Bass Trail, and by TH Marine, improving your boat from transom to trolling motor. There's more to come.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
So our mission statement here at Bill Penny Motor Company is to enrich the lives of our employees and our customers and the communities we serve. And it really begins and ends with people. It started with that kind of philosophy with my granddad and went through my dad. Growing up around the business, I remember being just a kid washing cars and meeting these customers. Now I'm a grown adult and they get to buy vehicles from us and hopefully serve their next of kin for generations to come. For the whole story, visit us at BillPennyToyota.com, where people always come first.
What could 148,000 people possibly have in common? As different as each of the members of America's First are, they all like it when good things happen to them. Like when their savings earn a higher return than they can get with a bank, and when their loans and credit cards have lower rates. And they like taking care of business from wherever they are. Why not join us today? America's First Federal Credit Union.
You sons of fishes. Ain't enough fish on this lake for 2 clubs.
Really? Well, we see plenty of fish live with Panoptics.
Yep. Dang, we should get Panoptics. Maybe we'll just take yours.
What's going on here? You boys have license?
Yes, sir. Nope. There he is. Oh, I got him.
You witnessed the action, the thrill, and the competition of the Alabama Bass Trail. Isn't it time you got involved? Coming in 2019, over $47,000 paid out for each event. No entry fee championship. 85 grand up for grabs, including a new Phoenix. More than $500,000 in cash and prizes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and sign up now at alabamabasstrail.org. The Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series, presented by Phoenix Boats.
Welcome back to the Alabama Bass Trail TV show, and we're here in Gadsden, Alabama at the Back 40 Beer Company. It's a local establishment here in Gadsden, and we thought it'd be fun to have our show here. We're going to welcome to the table now Bill Mayo and Walt Roberts, who have fished the Alabama Bass Trail for several years, but got their first win this year on Wheeler. So, Bill, I know traditionally Tennessee River is not where you're the strongest, but you sure showed them this year, that's for sure.
Well, it's close to where Walt lives. He lives in Gunnersville, and so we just decided to put all our eggs in that basket, and we pre-fished for it a lot. Him more than I did, and actually, it didn't really pan out like we thought. We just got lucky and made a real good adjustment.
So, going into Wheeler, it was the second tournament. Probably should have been the third tournament. What were you keying on? Was there a certain area of the lake that you thought was going to be the most productive for you, or what did you think the key was going to be to go in and win that tournament?
Well, we fished way upriver, and as Bill says, I live in Gunnersville, and so it's easy for me to get up to the upriver area. So I put a lot of time in there, and I really thought that we could win up there. As you know, we caught all smallmouth, which was pretty cool. You know, we'd not traditionally fished for smallmouth, but about a year ago I started going up there, and I kind of got an addiction to it. Yeah. So I've spent a lot of time up there, and it just worked out that day for us.
You know, the Tennessee River has such a mineral-rich ecosystem. I mean, you can catch anything from largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass. You have some big catfish that grow in the Tennessee River. Did you go specifically targeting smallmouth? Did you know that you were going to catch smallmouth that day? Was that what you targeted?
We did, yes. You know, we had talked about, you know, that time of year traditionally the bite in the bushes is real good. So the water comes up, the fish go in to spawn the largemouth. And so Bill had this notion that we were going to go fish the bushes, and a couple of days before I said, just go with me, you know, today, and let's see if we want to fish the bushes or if we want to fish up the river. And about an hour in, he agreed we wanted to fish upriver. So, you know, we felt really confident going in. As he said, now our places that we went to that we thought we were going to catch them, we really didn't. We had 13, 14 pounds, and we rolled up on spot, and I lost one that was the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in my life. It looked like a tuna, and I had to sit in the boat for 3 or 4 minutes and just regain my thoughts. And it worked out after that, and it was real good. We enjoyed it.
Bill, knowing in April that you had already punched your ticket to come to the championship on your home lake, you don't live far from here in Gadsden, Neely Henry. How did that help you fish the rest of the year?
Well, it just took all the pressure off. I mean, we were able to just relax and fish, and we had already had a good event, and so the fact that once you win an event, you're automatically qualified, which we were really salivating on the fact that it was going to be in Gadsden, on Lake Neely Henry anyways, and so it just took all the pressure off of us. I mean, it made for a much more enjoyable, ride for the rest of the year.
Good deal. We were really excited to be at Wheeler. That's my home lake, and that's one of the most premier boat ramps that you can possibly put in. I mean, we've been to tournaments all over the Southeast, and it's absolutely one of the most amazing venues for any angler to celebrate. Well, these guys have fished with us for 5 years, and we certainly appreciate their time on the Alabama Bass Trail. I want to congratulate you again on your first win on the Alabama Bass Trail, but we're sure that's not going to be the last.
This portion of the program is sponsored in part by Sweet Home Alabama, by Garmin, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, will be right back.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it. Progressive helps keep you out there.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
All right, guys, we're back with a fairly new team on the Alabama Bass Trail. We got Gentry, Gordy, Chad Smith. They're Southern anglers. Just your second year on the trail, a full field, 225 boats, which really not shocked you. I think both years y'all fished it, it's been full. So y'all had a pretty magical year going into the last event, tied for Angler of the Year points. Kind of walk us through your year.
Well, it started out the first tournament of the year. We had a terrible practice. And looking back on it now, talking to Chad, I said, we really had a bad practice every tournament except the last tournament. I mean, 1 or 2 fish during practice. So we had to just scratch everything, all the first 4 tournaments, and just go fishing. And I think that really helped out a lot. A lot of the places we thought we were going to fish usually had a boat sitting on it. That's the thing about this trail. You can't have one plan because somebody's going to be sitting on your plan. You got to have a backup plan. But we did a little pre-fishing, a little more pre-fishing at the Alabama River the last tournament because we wanted that Angler of the Year. And we actually had a good practice. And that'd come to bite us. I wish we'd have had a bad practice because the last tournament bit us.
Well, I know y'all have fished for a long time. Chad, fishing the Alabama Bass Trail, fishing against this many boats, have you ever been in a tournament where you were fishing against this many competitors and this many top anglers in the Southeast?
No, ma'am. I mean, we've said it before, and if you want to fish against the best, I mean, you've got anglers from all over the Southeast, and it's an unbelievable trail, and you can be humbled really quick out here. I mean, it is, the Alabama River bit us both, has bitten us twice both years. We had 6 pounds last year, 7 pounds this year, so we're slowly upgrading.
So you're pretty consistent.
We are.
Pretty consistent. I guess probably one of the questions I would like to know, and what was your best, or what was your most favorite tournament this year?
Well, there's 2, Lake and Lake Jordan. Lake Jordan, we never put them on the scales. We feel like we caught the winning fish. We had to let 2 go because we thought they were going to expire. Lake was an unbelievable tournament. I caught them on a rattle trap that morning. They got it on film with a 4-pounder, and that was some of the best times I've ever had with a rattle trap.
Well, thank you guys for fishing the Alabama Bass Trail. Congratulations on a phenomenal year.
Thank y'all.
And I know y'all are going on to Florida here in a few weeks to be in the Bassmaster Team Championship. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
Sitting here at this table are the guys who are our first ever champions of the Alabama Bass Trail, Craig Daniels, Jackie Flack. They won the first championship, and now we sit here in the year 5 and knowing that you were just a little close to not making it here.
Close.
I mean, these guys are as tough as you can get at Smith Lake, Weiss Lake. I mean, they're pretty strong in a lot of the lakes that we go to, but going into Pickwick, knowing that it was pushed back from February to September, and you guys had to make that tournament count to get into the championship, what was going through your mind, Craig?
Well, if it would have been in February when it's supposed to, we probably wouldn't have caught nothing. We went up there about 4 weekends in a row and didn't catch nothing. So it being moved till the last tournament probably helped us more than anything.
Well, we knew we had to win. We were, as everybody knows, we were 154th in points. So, and it was just because of 3 tournaments. We've really had a good year, except for 3 tournaments. But in the ABT, Alabama Bass Trail, you can't have a bad tournament. This crowd's too good. I mean, there's some sticks that we're fishing against. So if you have a bad day, you're
out.
You're out. Yeah. So and that's what makes it fun. The competition that we have here is up there, second to none. That's right.
You know, you guys, because of the Phoenix boat that you drive, y'all are always in that contingency bonus money, and that's always important. I think we figured up maybe a little over $17,000 that you guys took home that day. When you went into that tournament, were you know, Pickwick is known for smallmouth. Which way did y'all go? What was on your mind that morning?
We went down to Lake. Jackie, I didn't get to practice. I have to work. I don't get to practice no more. So Jackie does all the practicing. He actually went down to Lake for 2 days and found 2 pretty good areas that had some big fish in it. The first place we pulled up, probably hadn't made 10 casts. I catch 1 5, 5 1/4. We fish around for a little bit, catching nothing about 3, catching nothing about 2. We'll leave the area, go further down the lake. He catches 1 about 3 down the lake. We miss another big one, and we come back to where we started, and he catches a 6-pounder. So, I mean, it was just one of them days.
You've talked a little bit about the competition that's out here on the trail. You guys have fished it all. I mean, talk a little bit about the progression and getting to the Alabama Bass Trail and how you guys compare it to other trails that you fished.
Of all the trails that we fished, the Alabama Bass Trail is right up there with the best of them. The job that the Alabama Bass Trail team does, everything's just run perfect. There's no big fussing and fighting all the time. Clay does such a great job with the weigh-ins. And there's just nothing else that we would rather fish, and we've fished everything all over the country, and this is top notch.
Yeah, I mean, I fished pretty much everything out there to fish, and this is as good as it gets. I mean, the way the tournaments run, the money you're putting up, the money you're fishing for, I mean, there's nothing out there to even compete with it right now.
It's a joy to have you guys. Congratulations on your 2nd win in the Alabama Bass Trail, and I know as long as you're in the mix, there's a chance that you're going to win.
You got to think you're going to win. If you don't think you're going to win, you might as well stay at the house.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. We'll be back soon.
This portion of Alabama Bass Trail TV, presented by Phoenix Boats, is brought to you by Bill Penny Toyota, Sweet Home, Alabama, and by America's First Federal Credit Union. Stay with us. There's more to come.
Taming the beast isn't easy, but the bigger your electronics, the more you have on the line. In conditions like this, you need the KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount. The only electronics mount designed and built to be rock solid. No movement, no matter how heavy your gear. A marine grade mount for fresh or salt water that's monstrously strong. The KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount.
Greg Hackney, 2014 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Aaron Martins, 2013 and 2015 Bassmaster Angler of the Year. What else do these guys have in common? Phoenix Boats. The last 3 Bassmaster Angler of the Year titles were won out of Phoenix Boats. Coincidence? We think not. Phoenix Boats. Our passion for fishing is obvious.
Some things ain't worth keeping. Yesterday's traditions, today's adventures, tomorrow's memories. Now that's something worth keeping. Fish Alabama and find your keeper.
For more information, visit fishalabama.org.
It's time to take a road trip. Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some of the best are outdoors, like a trip to Lake Gunnersville. First stop on the Alabama Bass Trail. Catch anything? Nice. Or head to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. 468 holes of golf heaven. What's the time say? Best public golf on the planet. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
Omar, look. Omar, check this out. Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if you do laser hair removal for men. Notice that my hips are off the ground? And then I'm gonna pike my hips back into downward dog. Hey, the rain stopped.
A bad day on the road still beats a good one off it.
Tell me about that dental procedure again. I can still taste it in my mouth.
Progressive helps keep you out there.
Welcome back, everyone, to Alabama Bass Trail TV. And we're sitting here with a couple of legends. These guys, Brent Crow, Rex Chambers, have fished all 55 Alabama Bass Trail tournaments. What a ride, guys. I mean, y'all been here since day one.
It has been interesting. It's been interesting. We've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and not to suck up too hard, but it's been a great trail to fish the last 5 years. It's really been awesome.
Well, like I said, we both live in North Alabama, fish all the North Alabama lakes, and then when the trail started, he had his regular partner, I had mine, and we were both fortunate enough to be able to fish the South. I said, hey, for the money that's available and the opportunity, we need to fish the South. And like I said, we're both lucky enough to be able to do it.
If you remember back, I think the first year that we went to the Mobile Delta,
that was a low.
Come weigh-in time, he and I were in Birmingham on I-65.
Seems like I do remember that.
We went 3 days of practice with not a keeper.
No, not a bass.
Not a fish. I mean, we caught some mudfish, and then we went the tournament day without a bass. And so we were, like I said, come weigh-in time, we were in Birmingham on the way home. But we learned from that, and we come back the next year and got
we got to check
fourth place.
We got to check the next year. And then the third year we wound up in second or third.
So as it goes, he and I only fish the South together, but the South lakes that we never see throughout the year. And through these years, we've figured some of them out, and we've had some really good finishes.
If you had a young team that was looking at coming on to the Alabama Bass Trail, what advice would you give them?
Pack your lunch. I mean, really and truly. I mean, not only is it a great trail, it's competitive, and it's some of the best fishermen in the state and outside the state. We have several boats that's outside the state now, and I would say it's great for the young, the high schoolers coming up. Some of them's already fishing with their dads, and it's if you want to learn different lakes, different techniques, Alabama Bass Trail is the way to go. I mean, it's a variety.
And we've had a lot of fun. I mean, you know, we're always going to have fun, but when we do well, I mean, in this trail, if you do well, you know you've done something. I mean, this is not a Thursday night Wildcat. I mean, when you're in the top 10, you've beat a lot of really good fishermen, and at the end of the year, you know, if you're up there, then you know you've really accomplished something, and you know, it also, you know that you better bring your A game too, because they're going to catch them every single tournament. I mean, we go to Eufaula the first year, we thought we were doing good. We had 16 pounds, came in 50th.
Didn't get a check.
Well, because you guys are from North Alabama, and I know both of you were at the tournament this year at Guntersville, I think we have to talk about that. This is the best of show. To have 38 bags over 20 pounds. March the 10th, I think, will go down in history for the Alabama Bass Trail. 38 bags over 20 pounds. What can you say about that?
I didn't have one of those bags. He did.
He did?
Yeah, I knew Guntersville. You know, Guntersville had gone through a little bit of a decline, and I thought the last couple of years we've been catching a lot of little fish, and I thought, well, you know, 2 or 3 years from now it's going to be really good. And then all of a sudden this spring it was really good again, and way ahead of schedule I thought, or you know, maybe they just really bit well that day. But I mean, we had 22 pounds and came in 20 something, and I think I had a almost 8-pounder and didn't even weigh it for big fish. I mean, you know, it was about the 6th or 7th biggest fish. So I mean, it just speaks to the capabilities of that lake. I mean, it's amazing, and it despite all the pressure, I mean, it still keeps producing big fish in numbers. I mean, I think it's the best lake in the South, no doubt.
And what's bad is I was close to him and catching. They'd catch one, we'd catch one. His would be 4-pounder, mine would be 2-pounder. I mean, we caught the numbers, we just didn't get the size with my north partner.
Thank you guys for fishing with us. Clay, thank you for everything you do all year long. We've got a great crew, a great film crew, awesome. Great team behind us. So thank you guys for watching the Alabama Bass Trail TV.